Good afternoon. This tutorial will go over finding the x and y intercepts of a graph, particularly a linear function, and changing the viewing window. As you can see on the paper, I have an equation y equals 3x plus 5. We're going to go ahead and graph that, and then you find the x-intercepts and the y-intercepts using the value function for the y-intercept and the zero function for the x-intercept. As before, we graph it as before by hitting y equals. Make sure your window is cleared out, which mine is. Type in 3x plus 5 and hit graph. Okay, as you can see, okay, the graph appears in the window. One thing I want to note here is my scaling is a little different than the standard scaling. My x-axis is going from minus 10 to positive 10, but my y-axis is going from minus 20 to positive 20 from a previous problem. If I want to go back and change that using the window settings to the standard window, I need to hit the window button. Notice x-min and x-max is minus 10 plus 10. Actually, the y-min is a minus 10. I want to keep them the same, so I'm going to arrow down to the y-max value, and I'm going to change the y-max value from 20 back to 10 and re-hit the graph button. Notice how the window changes here. Now, to find the intercepts of this particular function, to find the y-intercept, we use the value function. The way we did this before is you hit second calc, select 1 for value. Okay, at the y-intercept, x equals 0. So we're going to plug 0 in for x and hit enter. Gives me the y value. So the y-intercept is the 0.05. To find the x-intercept, I use the zero function. To do use the zero function as before, I hit second calc, 2 for 0. Now notice it asks for the left bound, it's going to ask me for the right bound, and then there's going to be a third entry that says guess. Left bound is the left bound of the x-intercept. Notice the x-intercept is here, and we have a tick mark above it. We have to use the left arrow and move to the left-hand side of the x-intercept. Hit enter. Now it's going to ask for right bound. So I'm going to have to use the right arrow and move to the right-hand side of the x-intercept. Hit enter. Guess comes up. We hit enter again. And my value is minus 1.66660, or I rounded it as the point minus 1.7, comma 0 is the x-intercept. Now let's practice changing our viewing on the second equation, y equals 10x minus 30. What I'm going to do is hit second quit to get out of here, hit y equals, clear out the old equation. I'm going to plug in my new equation, 10x minus 30. So I'm going to put 10x minus 30. Hit graph. Now notice this graph is kind of straight up. It's hard to see actually the interval on there because it doesn't even cross the y-axis before we get off the screen. So let's change the scale to at least see the y-intercept and the x-intercept in the same window. In order to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the viewing window by hitting window. I'm going to change my x-min. Okay, I'm going to make it, instead of minus 10, I'm going to make it say minus 20. So I'm going to hit minus 20. I'm going to change my x-max. I'm going to keep that at 10. I'm going to change my y-min from a minus 10 to a minus 20. Okay, and I'm going to keep my y-max at 10. Hit my graph button again. I'm still kind of off the graph, but notice I'm moving more to the graph is moving more to the right, so I can see more of the x and y intercept in one window. Okay, so notice the it still hasn't crossed the y-intercept yet, y-axis yet, so I have to go and change the window settings. I'm going to change it from a min of minus 20. I'm going to make it a minus 30. And hit graph. Now I can see where it crosses the y-intercept here. So that's the purpose of the window setting. It's to change your scaling of your x and y axis so they can at least see the intercepts within one window. This concludes my tutorial on intercepts and viewing window.